Welcome back to another episode of In Swine Versation. The Isler brothers from Ohio, a standing pork legacy, bridging the commercial show pig gap. Scott and Nathan Isler, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having us.
So you guys have some deep roots in Marion County, Ohio, and the pig business through Isler. Can you talk about your business and give us a brief introduction of both of you, please?
Yeah, I'm Scott Isler. We're a multiple generation family farm here in Prospect, Ohio, which is north central Ohio. Our operation is a little unique to others, that we have both show pigs and breeding stock along with the commercial hogs as well. This is my brother Nathan.
Nathan Isler. Two of us farm together with our brother David as well, we're happy to be here and be part of it.
So there's 6 generations of farming currently, is that right?
Well, the 6th is on its way in. Yeah, my nephew hopefully will join the club here. He's a junior Ohio State and works almost full time as it is. So here.
So what's some of the history? I know the farm was built off breeding stock, and now you guys have modern commercial production, closed herd since the 70s.
Yep. So, our ancestors, like many others, have farmed both crops and livestock, and really, we kind of took off with the livestock portion of it. With our father and uncle, they kind of got it started with the seed stock business back in the 70s, and kind of made a name for ourselves across the country selling breeding stock and commercial hogs as well as show pigs.
Yeah, with that, my dad and uncle, they you spoke about being a closed herd. We're part of the national SPF, which is a nationwide health group that was started, and that's part of the reason. They were kind of ahead of their time with closing things up and doing a lot of testing, and Dad and my uncle Don, kind of the front side of that, and so that's where a lot of our biosecurity and health started at. So.
And the word passion describes both of you. What does that word mean to you when it comes to pig farming?
Yeah, I for myself, it's when you're passionate about something, it's you don't have to think to do it. You don't have to, it just comes natural. It's something that for me, I grew up in it. It's been part of my life. I've never known anything but the swine industry. Good, bad, and ugly. That's what they live and breathe. I'm sure our wives probably would wish we did a little less probably sometimes, but it's we involve your kids and your entire family in it. So
yeah, and also along with making it easy, I guess. For us, it's just something that we strive to. The passion for us is to do the best at it that we can. So we strive to do the best.
So one of the things we talked about is show pig versus commercial production. So in today's pork world, there seems to be a bit of a divide between show pig and the commercial side. Why do you think that is?
No, it's both are in production, obviously, but coming at it from a completely different angle. That is something that by nature, the show pigs, they travel and there's a lot more animal movements, and then on the commercial side of things, they see that as big no or a red flag, and there's a lot of misconceptions on both sides of it. It's funny when we kind of straddle the fence, and on both sides of it, you hear show pig guys, back in the few years ago when Expo was all together, the show pig guys didn't want to go to the trade show because those commercial guys are dirty, and there's a lot of talk of disease over there. And then the commercial guys, the same side of things, they think, oh, the show pigs have a lot of things going on. So it's one of those things that just, you have it on both sides of the aisle, that there are people that do it the right way, and there are people that cut corners, and those are the people that are challenged more because of that. So there are people that try extremely hard and have a lot invested, and a lot of passion on both sides that gets blurred sometimes.
Yeah, I think the show pig world and commercial world used to be one, but we have chose different traits, and different things are more important for one and versus the other, and so our selection traits and the type of animal has definitely gotten further apart.
How does your family work in both of these worlds simultaneously?
Yeah, so for us, we basically have two separate animals. We commingle them in our farm. So, not all show pigs are typically your best mothers, or, those are the traits I talked about, maybe are not as important in the show pig world as they are in the commercial world. So we have commercial sows that certainly can raise big fat healthy show pigs. They do great raising them, and so we cohabitate both in our buildings. So
and they go through the same health everything's the same as a gilt enter, and they're all tested the same, and like I said, we're only internally producing females. We buy in semen externally, but you have that, and which can be a challenge too on some of the show pig stuff. There are some disadvantages being a closed herd, but definitely a lot of positives that we have capitalized on as well.
So what's something you've learned on the seed stocks side of the business that helps you on the commercial side, or vice versa?
Yeah, so many years ago, that helped us through the transition from maybe the show pig and commercial side of things was National Swine Registry had a stages program, which it was basically a data program that had generations after generations of information as far as born alives and birth weights and weaning weights and all those compiled, and we use those for selection of females and the sires as well. So we had, at one time, we had I guess you could say we dominated the Yorkshire breed in the SPI, which is sow productivity index, and we had some of the most productive Yorkshires, purebred Yorkshires in the country. So we took those positive traits and brought that over to our commercial side, and then we went forward from there.
Yeah, and right along with that, gilt selection is the king of it all. I mean, it's commercial guys. We get more and more research on that, and the proper development, proper selection of those gilts is where it all starts. And I guess we were raised thinking that anyway. It's one thing of Dad's always been real strict stickler on that. You're not going to get better if you don't select better, and that's without cutting corners and developing them right. It doesn't matter whether you're talking show pigs or whether you're talking commercial styles. They gotta start as close to perfect as you can to improve. So
So with show pig and commercial production, are we going to see more of that combined in the future or less?
I would say probably less. It's definitely gotten further and further away from each other, but you know, we definitely are unique because we don't buy females like most show pig people would be. So, you know, I think we see value in both sides, but I think it's definitely gotten further away.
So sustainability is a big topic in the swine industry. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about that. The pork industry has been touting the we care ethical principles for 15 years. How would you characterize how Isler Crest Farms embraces these areas at the farm level?
yeah, again, that's that's something that's a great program, and it's something that we've held before there was a name or a program with it. It's kind of something that we did as a farm already. We kind of engulfed ourselves in those principles. But it's great to have a standard to go by, and with that, employee training is really, if you show your employees as you're training them, the importance and the care, for these animals and the importance of the animal's livelihood as well as yours. It's all about a mindset and culture.
Yep, we definitely follow the We Care program even before it was a thing probably, and just leading by example with our employees.
So when you talk about animal welfare, why do you guys place such a high priority on animal welfare? And then how do you specifically achieve it?
Well, animal welfare is definitely very important to us on both the commercial side of things and the seed stock side of things. You wouldn't, a lot of commercial guys wouldn't think that, how your females respond to you is how their pigs will be, but there's a big correlation there as far as being gentle and pigs that are been around people, a lot of people and interaction, but that carries over to their pigs. So their well-being is very important on both sides. The commercial side is also, I mean, when we take care of our hogs, and when I say that, it's not just feed and water every day. It's not letting them fight with other animals that when they go to a new location, and it's not letting them be uncomfortable. It's just taking care of them, and there's a huge return on both sides.
I feel like animal welfare, it's like a culture within your farm.
I would say definitely. It's one of those things. I've got several employees that everybody makes mistakes, but sometimes something gets overlooked or seen, and they get mad because they're passionate. They take ownership. Those animals, they're here for their livelihood. So you see people checking heat, turn around and rubbing and scratching sows behind that you're not even supposed to be looking at, and picking up little pigs and petting them when you've got a down second in the sow barn. You see things like that, and that they truly care and are passionate about animals. And when we do hire on the farm, that's we hire a lot of people that don't have livestock experience, but if they're animal people, we hire animal people. I mean, that's what we do, because if you love a dog, you can show affection and caring for those hogs as well. So
Yeah, with employees, sometimes you don't get a lot of feedback, but when you see a veteran employee, correct and stand behind what you believe in as an employee, that I guess that's one of the most rewarding things here. So that we did things right and passed it on to our employees. So.
That's great feedback, guys. From an environmental perspective, how different is the way you handle manure and apply nutrients when you were growing up, and how has it affected your ability to make continuous improvements?
Yeah, that's one, just like any technology, that's improved. When I was a kid, we still had a decent amount of stuff outside, in Cargill type settings, and had a lot of solids, and we moved to liquid tank, and here for many years now we've had drag lines, and along with that, those early times, we hauled at what field was available or closer when, previous generations, just like everyone did. And through soil testing, we do, every other year we do grid soil testing, and we test manure coming out of each building, so we know what nutrients we're putting on, and obviously we put it where we need to and at the rate we need to, and we've got we can go a long way, and used to, previously things have been put around the barns a lot, previous generations. So and some of those facilities are sorry, not facilities, but locations, we put little to no manure on because it was so heavily done in the past. So technology is great when and you can pinpoint exactly what you need and where you need it, and what you have, and the utensils we put it on with are new technology, and help prevent that runoff, and get it where you need it and keep it there.
Yeah, and just to jump on what Nathan had said, as far as historically, we had bedded with a lot of straw and had a lot of solids. Then we kind of transitioned to having pits, and we hauled everything with a big manure tank, and then you ended up with a lot of compaction, driving over the soil, and now we've moved away from that into drag lining to get away from the compaction and reach fields that we were never able to reach before, because we didn't like to haul that weight down the road. So, I think all around we're going in the right direction. I don't know if it's ever done, but we're certainly made big strides.
We're going to focus a few questions now on outreach / the future. So when you talk about your story to non-farm consumers, what do you share with them about how you raise animals? Are they surprised? If so, how so?
I think my wife is a school teacher, so we're definitely in the community and out and seeing a lot of the youth and so forth. And I think everybody that knows us knows that we're pig farmers, but when you start talking the size and scale, that the numbers of pigs that we produce every year, it's hard for someone to grasp. But the best thing I can tell them is we do it the same as if we only had 10 sows. We know each individual one. We got breeding dates and farrowing dates, and everything is taken. We take care of the animals the same as if we would on a much smaller scale. So
yeah, and with that, I mean, we both have done a lot of work. Scott Scott was previously on the Ohio Pork Council, and I am currently. But we've worked with our county pork producers as well, and done a bunch of outreach through FFA groups, and just engulfing yourself in the community, and that presence. There's just a lot to that, and one thing a lot of people don't realize is the reason you have those facilities that are that size is so you can be more sustainable. It's just more efficient, not only for the energy or financially, but it's as far as the footprint, it's just more efficient for labor and everything else. It's makes us more sustainable as a company and as an industry.
Do you think as an industry we need to tell that story more efficiently, or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, efficiently, yes, but also not skew away from our story. I mean, there's people that do things differently throughout the country, and but locals want to hear it from you, and they respond pretty well. We've been pretty fortunate here in our community.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that, also, that talking about the outreach to the community, it's one of those things that you got to know the target group you're talking to. Also, there's definitely those that some people have no knowledge of agriculture at all, and you would present that a little different than say the person that's in the community, that's seen it around and knows the generals of it, but you don't spread the exact same message to every person. Each one is a case by case, and get the points across and keep everything as positive as possible.
And specifically, how does your farm keep good neighbor relations and help maintain a strong sense of cohesiveness?
I mean, part of what we already, I hate to repeat myself, but it's one of those things that we, being in the community, those things, we've participated in. And I have been in the ag in the classroom in the past, and we've been part of the pork producers, county, state, those, through those programs, we've been able to reach out to them at the county fairs. We've been, able to reach these FFA kids, working with them on some livestock judging stuff. It's just many different ways, everything down to being involved and sponsoring your local sports teams. It all makes a difference to have a presence, and sometimes that just sparks a question that you can get in on it and use it for a learning moment.
So both of you have been heavily involved in leadership positions in the pork industry, and recently you've worked with the Ohio Pork Council on a new outreach video. What can you tell us about this video? I know people can find it at ohpork.org, but what is the premise? Tell us all about the video.
Yeah, so the video was a great way for us to show everyone what we do and explain our farm and who's involved here. Sometimes not everyone that's involved is out in the public eye, and certainly that was a good opportunity to do that. So I encourage those to go take a look at the video. But the video hopefully expressed that our passion and what we do here at Isler Crest Farms, and certainly we're proud of what we do and the history behind it.
So moving forward, what's something that keeps you up at night, and one thing that keeps you excited about being a part of today's pork industry?
I'm a little too laid back for much to keep me up at night. If you as far as that goes, I try to be a mostly positive person in general, but I as a positive thing and looking for the going forward in the industry, it's I see nothing but optimism. I mean, the markets jump up and down and all around, but we through our youth programs and through everything else here, I just see great passionate people and talent coming in behind us, and it's really as much as anything, it's as it is my dad and uncle's job before, and now we're rolling into that role of it's our job to nurture that. Those kids don't just fall into hey, I want to work with pigs if they've never been around pigs and never. So it's one of those things that we just I'm positive for next generation on our farm, and I'm positive for next generation coming in on the swine industry as a whole. And I don't see pork demand going anywhere. It's a great product, and I have nothing but optimism. You always find something negative to talk about, but that's not. I just try not to go down that road too often. So,
What about you, Scott?
Yeah, so maybe something that keeps me up at night, I guess, is I think everybody in the country has probably struggled with the labor force, and I guess for me that's concerning. And we've had our ups and downs here, certainly, but we got a great group of people here, and I think no matter what occupation you're in, you've got turnover. We try to keep that to a minimum, but trying to do what we can to young people to encourage them to want to be in this industry, I guess is kind of the positive side of it, the light of it, that we need to be out there and interact with those young people before they, I guess, get a final decision of what they want to do in life.
Do you think ag tech can help with labor?
Can you repeat that?
Like agriculture technology, more technology on the farm can help offset labor?
Certainly. We've seen that on our farm, especially as you build new facilities. Takes fewer people maybe to manage. A lot of the younger crew that we have, some of that technology is easy for them. They pick up very, very quick. So I think certainly that's moving us towards probably less on the labor side.
And it like he said, it does. Not only does it make you more efficient and be able to monitor things better and work environment better, but those employees, you see some of those younger employees embrace it, and that can be a selling point for bringing that young workforce in as well.
Well, Scott and Nathan Whistler, thanks for joining us today.
Hey,
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, appreciate it.